Sup, you beautiful bastards? Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show, and let's just jump into it. And the first thing I want to talk about today, one of the most requested stories today, is around Emily Lance. To celebrate the 4th of July this year, Emily had a friend film her urinating on the American flag. She stood over the toilet using a Go Girl, which is a device that allows women to, well, not allows, assists women with urinating while standing up. Everyone has the ability. It's just usually an accuracy problem if there is no assistance. But yeah, filmed herself peeing on the American flag and then falls into the toilet. And the video that is now deleted had the caption, "Fuck your nationalism, fuck your country, fuck your stupid fucking flag." And while the original video is up, it spread like crazy. And there was some support, but there was a lot of hate. People calling her worthless, an attention whore, a liberal extremist. People saying this is the result of privileged white kids in this new generation. Some saying, what else do you expect from a self-described anarchist and supporter of Bernie Sanders? Which, just to take a break, at this point Bernie Sanders has to be like, come on! There were also people that went way past name calling. Here's just one comment I saw that reads, "I'd love for someone to shove a razor-sharp K-bar up her cunt and pull straight up to her throat." And Lance responded to these threats, writing, "People are wishing illness, harm, and suffering upon me over a piece of fabric. People are willing to murder someone over a flag. It is so sad that people don't realize how brainwashed they are. I'm gross for peeing on a symbol? Look at yourselves. You people epitomize all that is foul." Also, according to Lance, people started targeting her family, writing, "My dad just called me and informed me that his place of employment has been targeted. Interestingly, he respects the flag and loves your country. I do not live with him, nor does he or anyone in my family agree with my shenanigans. They've got nothing to do with my decisions." And in response not to the threats, but to the criticism, she wrote, "Freedom of speech, expression means that I'm entitled to do and say as I please, even if you don't like it, so long as I am not physically hurting someone. And no, your precious feelings don't count. That's your own problem. What don't you people understand? You're celebrating freedom while damning me for doing the same. You can't have it both ways, freedom or none. Practice what you preach or shut the fuck up." Then later angering more people by writing, "Soiled flag fished out of my toilet, sold to the highest bidder." And since all of this happened, Lance deleted her Facebook and all her other social media accounts. And here's what I'll say, I'll never support the people harassing and making threats against someone for doing something they don't like. I get where the anger is coming from, but making threats like this as a response, it's never the answer. And when I say I get where the anger is coming from, I've talked about this in the past on different stories. I love my country. I am very critical of my country, but I love my country. I respect the American flag. But that's because that flag to me represents freedom. The freedom not only for myself, people that think like me, but for others. Desecrating a U.S. flag is not illegal. This has been affirmed by the U.S. Supreme Court. And I'm personally of the mindset that while watching that video will make me angry, if we don't allow that to exist in the world, well, that flag doesn't necessarily represent everything that I want it to represent. That freedom isn't freedom if you constantly are drawing lines in the sand as far as what you can criticize or what you can disrespect. When you see someone doing something with free speech that you don't agree with, you use your own free speech. And I think it's important that people remember that, they try to live that. I mean, I think that's why I also find myself in shows defending people I don't agree with or I don't like. But I also want to pass this question off to you. This is the PDS. It's not just me covering the news, my opinion. I want to know what you think. Do you think that this should be allowed, or no, this should be something where it's carved out? What do you think and why? Let me know down below. But from that, I want to share some stuff I love today, and today in Awesome, brought to you by the My Mom Thinks I'm Advertiser Friendly shirt. A shirt that I love to have a new run of every time I get one of these emails. So if you want to snag one of those while you can, link to that down below. And the first bit of awesome is music awesome. After years of essentially not being able to put anything she wanted out, Kesha has come out with her first solo song in, I believe, 4 years. Then in new music, if you don't have Tidal and or you didn't just steal it somewhere, the music video for Jay-Z's The Story of OJ is out on YouTube right now, and it is great. That is an instant add-on to the fantastic songs I should probably not sing in public playlist I have. And if you don't get that joke, listen to the first minute of the song. Then I have to share this video from the dodo where this guy in a kayak gets surprised by a huge whale. And he just has this reaction that is the polar opposite of what my reaction would have been. If you like animal videos, you're gonna like this place. Then we finally got the official version of Tom Holland lip sync battling some Rihanna. Little baby Spider-Man got some moves. And on that note, How It Should Have Ended put out a video called The 5 Stages of Watching a Spider-Man Reboot, and it's probably going to be true. And if you want to see the full versions of everything I shared, the secret link of the day, anything at all, links as always are in the description down below. Then there was the news that during Donald Trump's visit to Poland, the First Lady of Poland snubbed Donald Trump. You see the video, Donald Trump's with the handshake, he goes in, "Oh, sorry Trump, straight disrespect." This video and narrative blowing up, but if you just start to rain on your fuck Trump parade in one way, if you watch the whole video, they do shake hands. She just shook Melania's first. Then really quick, I want to talk about and thank Sonya Kay. Sonya popped up in the news because while she was watching a baseball game being played at the Atlanta Braves new stadium, she found a despicable sign. A sign that represented hate that the internet needed to see is alive and well in Georgia. Not just Georgia, but in the new Braves stadium. Tweeting, "Really disappointed with this sign at the new Braves stadium. Definitely not okay at Braves." And she included this picture showing a KKK sign. That's not a KKK sign. If you don't follow baseball, baseball, which I completely understand, it is a very slow, long sport. The Ks there are representative of strikeouts. In baseball, if the pitcher strikes out the batter, it's a K. Every time another strikeout is added, another K is added. But Sonya appeared to believe that this was a representation of the Ku Klux Klan. And what made her confusion even better, and what also probably led to this becoming a viral moment, is that as people tried to explain the situation to her, she just was not having it. Guy says, you do realize that this is a recorded number of strikeouts by the Braves pitcher, right? Sonya replies, they should figure out a different way to record it because that's offensive. Then Antoine Staley writes, I'm black and this doesn't even offend me. Come on, ma'am. To which Sonya responds, you must not care about your race as much as I care about yours. And then the tweet of the thread went to Benjamin, who wrote, I think the fourth strikeout was that tweet. And here's the thing, part of me doesn't want to make fun of Sonya too much. I mean, I literally sell a shirt that says sports. A shirt that has been purchased around 10,000 times for people that are like, I don't know what the hell is happening, but yeah, sports. But to see something and immediately go, that's racist. You're at a baseball game surrounded by other people, just tap on someone's shoulder and go, hey, what's up with that? And try to educate yourself on the situation before just shouting racism. Also, for those of you wondering, well, why the hell do they use a K for strikeout? Why don't they use an S? It's believed that Henry Chadwick, the inventor of the box score, he already used S to represent sacrifice, and so he just used a K from strikeout to be representative of a strikeout. And Sonya, if you're watching this, please know that I'm not calling you stupid. Obviously, you have a master's degree, as you tweeted about 50,000 times. I think you just need to educate yourself before throwing garbage out of your face. That one's my favorite. I'm someone getting a master's degree who is super smart and super woke and only dates classy men. Cool. She's so woke. And if there is a final note I want to end on with this story, is I would like to thank Sonya for being an example of really something that people need to understand. You can be college smart while also being real world stupid. Then let's talk about Crystal Olsen. Crystal, much like Sonya, went viral on the internet, but for a different reason. Crystal is a 32-year-old woman from Long Island. She was bartending in Arizona when a man made the choice to grab her ass. And in response to this, well, I'll just read her tweet. This guy grabbed my ass, I dragged him out in a chokehold, he slammed me into a wall, and is crying like a bitch when he got arrested, tweeting out this picture that was reportedly taken by a security guard. And a ton of people love this. People tweeting, you're awesome and I want my daughter to grow up to be just like you. You're my fucking hero. Don't have a daughter, but if I did, I'd be proud of her defending herself as you did. But there were also those that criticized Crystal. Some writing chokehold does seem a bit much. I don't know, I just don't agree with choking and sending somebody to jail because they touched you once. Slight overreaction, probably could have used your big girl words instead of going straight to attacking him. And to that I say, Chico, maybe he shouldn't have used his little boy hands to grab ass. Maybe he shouldn't have put his hands on another person without their permission. I'm not white knighting here. I'm not saying, guys, before you kiss a girl, you have to have her sign a consent form. Take a picture with your phone, make copies. I'm just saying, just don't grab on other people without their permission. In my eyes, this is a simple case of self-defense. Or to put it in the words I once heard from one Long Island woman, if you fuck with the wrong bitch, that bitch will fuck you up. And then let's talk about something interesting happening in Sweden. Last week, Sweden's largest music festival, Bravalla, took place. And during this year's festival, there were 4 rape and 23 sexual assault reports. And those reports and the situation in general have led to next year's festival being canceled. And the festival released this statement, which I tried to translate, that reads, I have had it. Violence kills the festival experience and the love for music. And first and foremost, people are getting hurt. One is too much. Therefore, we decided not to do Bravalla 2018. We will take a step back. This is not because of a particular crime or a particular event. It's not that we cannot deal with the problem or the problem in the festivals. It is about making a clear statement. And it should be noted, this isn't a problem that has just popped up out of nowhere. Last year, Mumford & Sons said they would not be returning to the festival because of the high number of sexual assaults. And statements like that also probably led to the lowered ticket sales they had this year. In 2016, they sold 52,000 tickets. This year, 45,000. So what now? Well, in reaction to this, Swedish comedian and radio host Emma Nikera tweeted out, what do you think about putting together a really cool festival where only non-men are welcome that will run until all men have learned how to behave themselves? And to that tweet, there were a lot of people saying, yeah, we should have a women-only music festival. You also had people saying that's sexist. You're essentially calling all men rapists. Why are the actions of some excluding the whole? Then there was also an influx of people saying that this is part of the Muslim migrant problem. And then finally, you had people on the sideline not knowing if she was being serious or not. Well, the next day on Instagram, she announced that yes, they are moving forward with this festival, saying Sweden's first man-free rock festival will see the light next summer. In the coming days, I'll bring together a solid group of talented organizers and project leaders to form the festival's organizers. Then you'll hear from everyone again when it's time to move forward. Also telling a Swedish tabloid, since it seems okay to discriminate against women all the time, maybe it's okay to shut out men for 3 days. I would not exactly call it an abuse not to come to the festival. And as far as her further thought into the project, she said, who are the abusers? Well, men. So what if you put together a festival where they may not come? That was how I was thinking. I think it's sick that half the population has to walk around and feel insecure. So next year, there will be an option. A rock festival where women can feel completely safe. Now, it should be noted this would be kind of the first of its kind. There was the Michigan Women's Music Festival, but that was canceled. That seemed to be around disputes with non-trans friendly rules. rules. There's a stage at the Glastonbury Festival for only people that self-identify as women, but that's just a stage, and this isn't necessarily just women's only. And a question I would ask around this new music festival is, when you say men, because it's not women only, it's no men, are you talking about people that self-identify as men regardless of law? Are you going to be checking genders on IDs? Is the law involved, or it's a feeling? Because if it's just for those that say they self-identify, it seems like they potentially are opening themselves up to trolling. There's a lot of debate around this story, and so I wanted to pass the question off to you. Are you for this, or are you against this, or you kind of just don't care? Is this essentially the music festival version of when bars have ladies-only nights? Or no, this is a completely different situation? I'd love to know what you think here. And that's actually where I'm gonna end today's show. And remember, if you liked this video, you like what I do on this channel, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you missed yesterday's Philip DeFranco show, you want to catch up, click or tap right there to watch that. Or if you want to see the newest behind-the-scenes vlog, click or tap right there to watch that. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.